for joining me. Tonight, we're going to touch a few topics. One of the main topics of the show is our brother Garfield Reid has went missing in action. If y'all remember the time when a few weeks ago, we had our brother Sharif Bey on the show. And on that show, brother Garfield was ready on the beginning of the show. At the beginning of the show, he was ready. Towards the middle of the conversation, that readiness and preparation had dwindled. He had claimed that, this is on the fly now. Although he had screenshots, he had all sorts of stuff ready, because he was bringing them up on the fly. He say on the fly. But the point of the matter is that I don't know what happened. Towards the middle and towards the end, it all fell apart. It all just fell apart. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I don't know what happened. So I've been trying to get in touch with him. He putting things off, and I'm going to give him a call tonight. I'm going to give him a call, but I want to first acknowledge a few things. First, family, let me give myself and my more biters a shout out real quick, family. Recently, we 2 weeks ago, we had a bundle of joy, per se. You know what I'm saying? We had hold on 1 second. I'm about to send the link out real quick. So we had a 9-pound 3-ounce baby boy. Yep, that's what we had. We had a 9-pound 3-ounce baby boy. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of him in a minute. We had a 9-pound 3-ounce baby boy. He serves. He ain't got time to play with you. You know what I mean? He ain't got time to play with you. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of him. Give me a second. Let me show y'all a picture real quick. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of him. You know what I mean? He serves, all right. So let me see. I'm gonna share it with the family real quick. I haven't even shared anything on social media because I just been actually busy, but I'll share this with y'all real quick. You know what I mean? I'll let y'all see my peoples, my little main man, real quick. So this picture I'm gonna show y'all, right? He went and got a shot. You know what I mean? Now he ain't get no shots. We don't take no shots. My bad. He ain't get no shots, man. But boys will knock my head off. But nah, he went and get his blood drawn, right? And man, look, I'm gonna show you what he looked like. Show you what he looked like. It what he looked like when he got his blood drawn, right? You know what I mean? He ain't got time to play with you for real. You know, he 2.5 weeks old, but check him out. Give me a minute. Let me screen share real quick. He's 2.5 weeks old, right? I'm about to screen share this real quick. 1 second. There you go, right there. He's 2.5 weeks old, right? So he went to get some blood drawn, and that's how he ended up looking. He upset about that demonstration. So anyway, that's him after getting his blood drawn, right? So he only 2.5 weeks old right now, but he's strong. You know what I'm saying? He's strong. He's a soldier. You know, he's about to roll, but to rock and roll and uplift this nation. I'll show y'all one more. Let me show y'all one more. It's my little man. This on the lean right here. He half tied right here. I'm gonna show this one to y'all too. This is my little guy. You know what I mean? He be hooping, acting up. Oh my goodness, he be acting up. You know what I mean? There you go right there. So I think I want to show that to y'all. There you go right there. You know. So family, my name, what y'all know me as is Brother Sharif Bey, but actually I'm Brother Johnson Bey. You know, in the temple, we refer to ourselves with our last name, Johnson Bey. So Tahaka Johnson Bey, man, thank you for the $2 cash out, brother. And anybody want to cash out for me, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up, family. Hit me up with the $sign. I appreciate it. So that's hey. His name is Alim Boaz Johnson Bey. So you would know him probably as Alim Bey or Boaz Bey, whatever he feel comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Aleem Boaz Johnson Bey. You know what I'm saying? The omnipotent strong one. So with that being said, family, let me see if I can get my brother on here before I even start, before I go any further. Let me send this link out to my brother Sharif Bey. Let's see if he got a minute to chime in real quick, because I want to ask him a few questions. I want to ask him a few questions about this Garfield situation that we had scheduled to build on, and somehow we didn't get there. And I got a few more things I want to talk about while he's getting in. Let me see if my brother Ishmael Bey is around. Maybe he want to come in here. If he not doing nothing, Ishmael Bey better not be underneath no Christmas tree. He better not be underneath no Christmas tree. I'm going to send him the link too. If he don't come in here, I'm going to assume that he's under the Christmas tree. Now, that's what it is. I'm going to assume that he's under the Christmas tree. Ishmael Bey, you better not be under the Christmas tree, or I'm going to call Brother Reza on you. Now, I'm going to call Brother Reza. Don't you play with You know what I mean? I will call Brother Reza that you better not be under that Christmas tree. You understand me? Yeah. You know, some of us, family, we take time to catch the joke. It's only a joke. It's only a joke. Oh my goodness. So, family, let me bring you up to speed. Let me bring you up to speed. So, other than what I just showed you concerning my son, so it's a few things that's happened since you've been gone. One thing I'm gonna address this coming in the next few weeks is the recycling of RV Bey. If you remember the Moorish Science Temple of America, then you would understand where this is coming from. Recycling RV Bey. This is going to be the first week of January. I'm going to show and prove how the Moorish Consulate, Shalimar Bey, Marrakesh Society, El Amir and the crew, and Jamal Flicks all have taken a piece out of the Order of the Round Table or RV Bey publications and have tried to cash out, or they are cashing out. And so we're going to talk about the recycling of RV Bey. Another thing we're going to be looking at, family, is this Thursday, family, I'm going to have the president on the show. Hey, family, I'm having the president on the show. Listen. Work with me. I'm going to have the president on the show, right? Hold on. I'm going to have the president, C. Cannon Bey, on the show. I mean, I'm going to have the president on the show. Let me stop this for a minute. I'm going to address some of the ink. Don't block them real quick. Let me address some of these people real quick. Hey, family, what that guy just say? Look, the ink say that's going to be a waste of time. Let's talk about an agenda for 2019. Ink.com. What member or group are you a part of? What member or group that you're a part of? Because whatever group or member organization that you're a part of, then you need to be with them talking about your agenda. We ain't going to be on YouTube faking like we're creating an agenda right here on YouTube. You don't create an agenda on YouTube. Who your grand sheik, brother? Who your grand sheik, brother? You don't create an agenda on YouTube. YouTube is for what it is. It's for me to reach you, entertain you, educate you, entertain you, educate you, entertain you, and send you to a temple to create an agenda. Let's stop faking. See, that's what these fake conscious communities do. They get on these cameras and act as if they're creating an agenda. I'm not going to fake you out. You ain't never seen no corporation create an agenda on YouTube. And why should I? Why should I? Why should I fake like we talking about one on YouTube? I'm not even going to fake the funk like we talking about an agenda on YouTube, because it ain't the place for it. So you join a Moorish Science Temple of America, you join a Pan-African group, you join a Black Power group, you join a Hebrew group, and you get with them and you discuss an agenda. You make benchmarks and then you execute it. Don't fake like you on YouTube creating an agenda. No one creates an agenda on YouTube. Come on, man. Indigbo, do you want the link? Indigbo. Put your email here, Indigbo, and come on here and say what you gotta say. Because we taking all challenges. I mean, we taking all challenges, Indigbo. You know what I mean? Huh? We taking all challenges. This brother said we don't corporations on YouTube rapping either. Many corporations on YouTube rapping. What are you talking about? Rapping and hip hop is $1 billion industry. Emeka, are you slow? Now I'm gonna start getting raw for 2019. Are you slow? Are you slow? Talk about corporations ain't rapping either. Are you out your mind? Johnson & Johnson baby powder got a rap. Are you serious? Man, come on, man. But anyway, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Anyway, let's talk about it. Anyway, y'all get me fired up in here. So we got 102 people watching today. You know what I mean? Who blocking the super chats? I don't know. Look, family, the channel is blowing up a little bit. And so family, anyway, let me get back to it. let me get back to it. Let me get back to it. Hey, I want y'all, if y'all see trolls, Sister Love Nelson, and my brother Raphael, if y'all see trolls, brother, just get them up out of here. It's a waste of our time. But let's talk about Brother Garfield real quick. Before I get to Brother Garfield, let's deal with this. So family, on Thursday, the president the president of the United States Republic, United States of America Republic, Sharif Bey, is going to dialogue with me on the topic of conferring nationality. You follow me? Conferring nationality. Sharif Bey, this brother here, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. Recycling RV Bey. RV Bey, they were the first with the IDs. But they have recycled it now and they make their own IDs. So we're going to be talking about this. Merrick Kush got IDs. Rise of the Moors got IDs. Moorish Consulate got IDs. All that started with RV Bey. All that started with RV Bey. You see? And so we got the president here. He got his seal. He got his little seal. We're going to treat it like the hood. You know, sisters in the hood. But look, he going to shake hands with the Europeans before he shake hands with himself. You see that? There go right there. But look, anyway, don't worry about that. Man, shout out to Toledo, man. My brother, Sheik Grayel. Anyway, listen, we're going to do like they do in the hood. Right there. We're going to do like they do in the hood. You got to do it right away. Like, oh, yeah, he got his little seal. He got his old little seal made up. And since he got his little seal, we're going to talk about the little seal on Thursday. Yeah, we're going to talk about that little seal on Thursday, and we're going to talk about him conferring nationality, because the topic of discussion is who confers or who and what confers nationality. Okay, so we're going to have him, and he got his little license plates. Yeah, man, he got his little license plates. We might talk about some of that, but this is the reason why this came up. The reason why this came up is because he says that in a post, he says they not teaching strong civics in the temple. This is not an attack on the MST of A, but the teachers in the MST of A. You know, but now the problem is this. For somebody to say that, first you have to tell us the last time you've been in the temple. That's the first thing you have to do. the first thing you have to do is let us know the last time you've been in a temple. Because you're not in a temple, you're not a part of a temple, you're not a dues paying member of a temple, and you've never been. So don't come at the temple sideways until you go to the temple. And that's for anybody. But that's what brings me to this, the recycling of RB Bey. Everybody trying to cash out. Everybody trying to cash out. You follow me? Everybody trying to cash out. And another reason that I am addressing the recycling of RB Bey because of this, family. Let me direct your attention right over here, real quick. Let me direct your attention over to this video real quick, family. Look at this foolishness. Look at this madness over here. Check this out. Y'all might didn't see this, but y'all gonna see it today. Check this out. Check it out.
Go ahead, County Manager.
Here it comes.
Georgia's Own is banking crafted for real life. We're local, not for profit, and have better rates to fuel your...
There you go.
The hard way, you just can't walk into a house, say, this is mine now, and move in. The issue came to a head when the family who bought the home found the man living there. He wouldn't leave. Channel 2 Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Tony Thomas live near Swanee. So Tony, that man posted video online as he was claiming ownership of the $500,000 property.
That's right. In the video he taped as he checked out this place, Joel Fed told viewers that police couldn't do anything to him when he moved in anyway. And if they did show up and someone complained, well, the police would just tell them it was a civil issue. Checkmate. Police put him in jail, and residents are still shaking their
This is
heads.
what they teach. This is that RB Bey stuff. Listen.
Checkmate. Police put him in jail. Checkmate. Police put him in jail. Checkmate. Police put him in jail, and residents around here are still shaking their heads.
I've seen a lot of things in my 56 years, but man, this is one of the wildest ones.
Neighbor Jack Campbell says he confronted Joel Fed as he moved into the home on Settlesbrook Court near Sewanee. The home's new owners had been locked out.
He had pulled all the blinds down, put private property, no trespassing.
I'm going to put my claims on it.
Y'all see this? He gonna put his claim on this.
A couple days earlier, Fed and his nephew recorded this video as they looked over the property.
First thing you want to make sure is that it is vacant.
Fed told viewers it was his right to claim the land since he's indigenous peoples.
Y'all see this? Y'all see this? This is why I do what I got to do. Listen to what it says.
Who gonna come tell me I can't take it? Who gonna come and take it from me? We are the law of the land. We are the landlords. We are Moorish.
Neighbors say he posted these signs claiming...
Y'all see that? Those papers right there come straight from Jamal and the likes, the consulate and the likes. Those same papers right there.
The deed to the house and warned others not to trespass. Gwinnett County Police call this an apparent sovereign citizen case.
The soil. It's soil. I ain't encouraging, I ain't influencing, I ain't promoting anybody to do this. I just feel in my soul it's time for me to do it.
Fed's now in jail, charged with criminal trespass and damage, along with false statements.
At the time, we were all very worried about it. We've got a lot of young kids in this neighborhood, and yeah, it was real scary.
Truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We're not black.
You see that? You see how he misrepresent us? Look at this. This is why I do what I do.
We're Moorish Americans.
He's not no Moorish American. Nope.
Gone.
Nope.
Peace, freedom, and justice. We're not black. We're Moorish Americans. Gone.
I'm told the new owners have regained control of the house and are in process of moving in. Live in Gwinnett County, Tony Thomas, Channel 2 Action News.
So family, that's why, let me tell y'all something. That's why I could actually, I'm not even tripping half of the time when people talk crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even tripping half of the time when people get mad when I do the shows that I do. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not tripping because I know without a doubt of contradiction that this thing has gone too far. This thing has gone too far. So I don't even trip. You know what I'm saying? People coming at me, oh, you're a sellout. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. Keep on crying because I'm going to keep on exposing that is not the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teaching. It's not. It never was. It never will be. Right to travel? Not. Squatting in houses? Not. Selling status correction? Not. I mean, none of that. Selling status correction? Not. Squatting in houses? Not. None of that. None of that is the teaching of the Moorish Science Temple of America. You know what I mean? None of that. So the point of the matter is that when you think of the Moorish Science Temple of America, don't think about those squatting in houses. Don't even consider those like Miracush, selling status correction. When in reality, like a brother said today about status correction, he corrected his status, and I say to him, I say, well, brother, if you corrected your status, how did your life improve since you corrected your status? This is what he said to me. He said, my credit score got better. Hold up. You correct your status so you can have a high credit score within the system of capitalism? I'm going to say it again. I say, brother, you correct your status. How did your life improve? He said, one of the ways is my credit score jumped. And I'm like, we are sitting here trying to create a condition where we can offer credit on a fair Islamism scale. And you're correcting your status so you can get a high credit score so you can reintegrate into the slave system. Does that make any sense? Why would you want to fix your status just to reintegrate? Why do you want to reintegrate? This is the sickness of this thought. Our people are sick, and I'm so serious when I say that. I'm so serious when I say this. You know, instead of creating a credit system that provides credit on a fair and equal basis, we are doing things to be accepted into a system. So I said to him, Yashar El, yeah, you have a right to travel, but they got a right to lock you up if you're not following the rules and regulations of the road, too. You have a right to travel. Give it a shot. But they have a right to lock you up. Now, if you want, let me say this. If a person wants to, as you say, exercise your right to travel, won't you unite and go and get it put on the books? Won't you unite with all people, 3,000 to 4,000 people, and in your local city, change the rules? How about that? How about that? Won't you go and change the rules? Won't you, as my brother Sharif would say, won't you become the power instead of fighting the power? Won't you make the rules instead of trying to break the rules? Take the rules and recreate the rules. You don't want to do that. That's too much work. It's too much work to unite your people to move as one. It's too much work to unite your people and move as one. And so you want a free lunch and try to backdoor liberation. You ain't backdooring liberation. You ain't gonna backdoor liberation. You know, and so this is where we at. This is where we at. You're not going to backdoor liberation. You know, and so when you look at this brother right here who tried to backdoor liberation, real quick, when you look at this brother right here, now, guess what? Guess what? All that stuff that he got off the internet will be evidence used against him. Oh, yeah, he's the landowner, all right. But now somebody owning his land, his physical form. He the landowner. Look at him. He the landowner. He indigenous. But now, guess what? The gold, the silver, and the commerce ain't his. The steel and the brick walls are his right now, if you know what I'm talking about. But let's get into our brother. You know, let me look at the chat real quick. Let me look at the chat real quick, see if somebody done said something. Ishmael Bey! Oh, I just spoke too fast. He gonna get me, y'all. Listen, family. Ishmael Bey just came in. I don't want him to jump on me. I don't want him to jump on me. I was joking with him. I said some jokes about he better get from underneath the tree, and I said some things. Listen, family, don't Ishmael Bey is in the building. I set myself up. So anyway, hold on. Good afternoon, Ishmael Bey. Are you here?
Peace and blessings, Brother Tahaka. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing well. I thought I'd just send you the link and see what you was doing this evening. Have you enjoyed your chestnuts roasting on open fire?
No, I'm sorry about that, brother. I haven't celebrated Christmas in over 30 years, bro. I can't wait for Kwanzaa tomorrow, though. I was checking out some of that Lakers playing the Golden State. That's all, brother. I'm good.
So, brother, how you been doing, bro?
Good, King. I'm doing good, man. I like the topic and stuff. I like the way you're breaking it down. It's so very important. And like you said, the benefits of the things we even looking for as far as some kind of status correction, credit scores. Here's some advice. Go open up a Finger Hut account. Go buy yourself a little sweater, and magic, your credit scores will jump up immediately just from a basic Finger Hut account. You ain't gotta. I mean, other people change their status for such legitimate things like Native Americans. They get more land, they get casinos, they get, more rights to operate. We talking about credit scores. Yo, we got to do better, man.
I mean, amongst other things, he said that in something else, but that jumped out to me like, what? Are you serious? And then we begin to talk about, and I'm gonna get on Garfield in a minute, but we begin to talk about, he said something about the laws in the books that Marrakush sell, that they quote in. I say, brother, the laws of the 1800s are not applicable today unless they have been applied. Basically, I said this in retrospect, unless they've been applied and enforced in today's time. Half of them laws have been so outdated, you haven't even seen the up-to-date version. And if you find out the origin of the law, why it was implemented, you would know that it wasn't meant for what you're trying to use it for. Though you can use some laws for that, but for our situation, it's rather unique. And ain't nobody going for you doing no fugazi laws to try to enforce anything.
And that's the difference. They were like changing a lot of those laws live time, as like when like Sharif and us were doing a lot of the things within the law. They were closing up loopholes and putting different laws in place to combat that. So right now, the biggest bat that they have is actually the RICO Act. They're collecting names of people doing a lot of these acts right now, and they're putting them in databases to slap RICO charges on them as far as racketeering. So a lot of these people don't even know what's coming down the line as far as what's coming their way. But that's what they're doing. They're collecting the names of a lot of these troublemakers in order to slap the main people with those charges. And, don't believe me, just watch and see.
Hey, brother. You are absolutely right. A brother asked me the other day, a good friend of mine asked me the other day, he said, bro, did you see the demonstration where the brother, I think the brother from USAR, he drove off with the right to travel? And I said, oh yeah, I seen it. He said, what you think about that? I said, well, in certain parts of the country, like Indiana and some of those little small royal towns, I said they catching up. They haven't necessarily caught up to the fullest, but they catching up. I said half of them haven't even been trained on this sovereign citizen or this this. Sometimes it's just a nuisance behavior. I said, but when they do, they are going to exact the most severe nonsense against the individual because they're not moving as a group. Now I'm saying that somebody, oh, what you scared, has nothing to do with that. Has something to do with common sense. that as an individual driving down a dark road by himself, talking about I got a right to travel is one thing. With 30,000 people that have enforced the what you call the Constitution and make it legitimate, that's a whole nother thing. Try to make something legitimate before you start to exact it or force it upon somebody as an individual. That don't make sense. You follow me?
And Brother Jarka, actually, you were very responsible from, I'm talking about since day one. You've been saying it's so much bigger than the individual. You're placing other innocent Moors in jeopardy by the actions of what you're doing, because other Moors are going to be judged by what you're doing. If I'm looking at a whole temple full of beautiful Moors, or convention full of beautiful Moors, maybe in the city of Philadelphia or anywhere, any city, Chicago, you're putting them in jeopardy by the actions of what you're doing and the next generation. So you have to understand that even if you have the ability to articulate your way out of an immediate ticket, you're still placing other people who may not have that one and done type of mentality, and they can be harmed by that. So that's the responsibility of what we're supposed to do,
You know,
not misrepresent something. Yes, sir.
What's funny to me, brother, is when they talk about we got the right to do this, the right to do that, what happened to all the rights of the freedom fighters that have been falsely accused and in prison for 20 or 30 years? They got the right too. They got the right. They got the right to protest.
Absolutely.
But why they in prison? What's the brother Abu Jamal? Why he in prison?
Correct.
He got the right. He ain't killed nobody.
Right.
He in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And that's apples and oranges per se, because that's a different set of circumstances. But the point that I'm making is that when these Europeans get you as an individual, it's a wrap.
And that's the whole key. You just showed the example on the news. They'll straight debo you, strong arm you, straight take you, and then what you gonna do?
And then what you gonna exactly.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
And not to mention that, and then they throw a little propaganda in there. They sprinkle it with a little propaganda. Oh, my neighbors were so scared. Scared of what? He just squatted in the house. Oh, we were so scared. We have children running around here.
And if you know, and that scared is a code to what? Scared mean terror. And terror mean exactly. So terrorists. So they're putting you in a category. And again, other people are being put in jeopardy by your actions.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is why I do what I do. I'm buying time for my brother Sharif. He's on his way, because I gotta ask him some questions about Brother Garfield. You know what I'm saying? And what the world happened. Matter of fact, let me see. What you doing this evening, brother Ish?
I'm free, brother. Like I said, I'm just building with the family. I'm just taking this some information and learning. Just learning, brother.
Hey, bro, we do have some fun with this show. I want y'all to stick around. I want to ask my brother what's the problem? Let's see if he answers. Yeah, let's have some fun real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get him on here, man. Let me see. My brother Garfield, we want to find out. Hold up. I didn't want to FaceTime you, Garfield. Garfield probably got a Sprint Metro PCS anyway. He ain't got no FaceTime. Nah, I'm playing. So we're gonna see if we gonna get him on here. Let me see. Because we ain't letting him off the hook. We're not gonna let Brother Garfield off the hook.
Did we ever reschedule that? I thought we had a schedule him and Sharif.
Hold on. So what happened is this. We were supposed to reschedule. When it came time to reschedule, Garfield said, I don't know when I'll be ready.
Please leave your message for.
He said, I said, well, Garfield, I want to let the people know something, because the people was looking forward to it. This is the reason why I wanted to get this off off to the people, because Garfield has been known for the last year and a half or 2 years. He just came out of the blue for one. And he's been known for the last year and a half or 2 years coming at any and everybody. And I respect people that do that, because I like steel sharp steel, and we should be left put on our toes. But he will always come at the Moors periodically by the way of Lord Abba. And I think he used to bait Lord Abba, and Lord Abba used to crush him with the information, but he would get over with the antics, if you know what I mean. You know, some people really don't have the information, but they can bring some antics. I use antics myself, you know what I mean, sometimes. But he would get over with the antics, and Abba would get him with the information. But the point of the matter is, I think he would try to bait Abba and bait any Moors so he can bring attention to himself. Well, I finally got him with our brother Sharif. And oh man, he came up with so many excuses. Let me show you a few of the excuses that the brother came up with. Let's see. So we started. So he started out right. Let me share a video. Let me share this with the family real quick. Let me see what this one is. Hey, Garfield, do you want to leave now? I gave him the option to leave. Check it. Listen. Do you want to leave now? There you go. Hey, bro, Garfield, do you know what this means compared to that Adidas hat you got on? Do you know what this means? Garfield, do you know what you got yourself into?
You know what it means? You know what it means, Tarka?
I want you to
tell you what it means. Let me tell you what it means. It means light work. I'm here eating pineapples, bro. It means light work. I'm here eating pineapples, bro. It means light work. I'm here eating pineapples, bro. It means light work. I'm here eating pineapples, bro, and cantaloupe.
I want you
light work.
That's how he started off. He said it means light work. That's how he started off. But let's see how.
All I'm saying to Sharif is Sharif doesn't know DNA for one. It's very obvious in this conversation. He has little knowledge about DNA and genetics. He's not on my level. I'm saying,
he said he's not on his level, and so we waiting for this to happen, right? So here's Noah. You are good for this conversation, Brother Garfield. Hold up, let's get him on this one.
Tarka, that's not a fair conversation because this is a last minute thing. I didn't even know he was going to be applied Winters, bro.
You hear what he said? He start off right. He says that it's light work, but listen what he said on this one.
Tarka, that's not a fair conversation because this is a last minute thing. I didn't even know he was going to be applied Winters, bro. This is a last minute thing. I didn't even know he was going to be applied Winters, bro. This is a last minute thing. This is a last.
But look, let's say right here.
Eating pineapples, bro. It means light work. I'm here eating pineapples, bro.
Now,
Tarka, that's not a fair conversation because this is a last minute thing. I didn't even know he was going to be.
Hey, family, you would think that this was two different shows. You would think that this was two different shows. It's the same show where the. So we're trying to figure out what happened. From the beginning, it was light work. At the end, he says, I didn't even know that he was going to bring up Clive Winters. I wasn't basically prepared. And so now we wait.
Yeah, he was singing a different tune after he got that work, huh?
Yeah. And so, in other words, I'm gonna wait till my brother Sharif get here. So, anyway, what I want to talk about, some of the things that I do want to talk about is when we look at this sovereign citizen movement as the Moorish Science Temple of America, everything that we see, and I'm gonna name them all for y'all. Everything that we see that is classified by this European as sovereign citizen is born out of R.B. Bey. And that's just what it is. All of this stuff is born out of R.B. Bey. The Moorish consulate, Marrakesh, Rise of the Moors, and any other group that's claiming to sell you nationhood and nationality and status correction was born out of R.B. Bey. This stuff is not original. And so on this show, family, I'm telling you, there is no such thing as a Moorish consulate. It's fictitious. It's like creating something out of thin air and legitimizing it by social media. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, nor do it have any power to confirm or confer anything. It doesn't have any power to confirm or confer anything. So if you are brothers and sisters that's in this audience and y'all are interested, and let me tell you something. Nobody is asking anyone to proclaim their nationality and become a Moorish American. I would prefer that you would enlighten yourself as to what it is to be a Moorish American, so you can be more educated on the ideal that Moorish Americans represent. Because many people that come at the Moors don't even have a clear concept of what a Moorish American is, and when they open their mouth, they sound crazy. They sound crazy. And so find yourself a Moorish American friend and learn the ideal. Become a student. So my brother Thomas I. Temple said, do you support ARNA or Ali Muhammad Bey? Actually, I'm trying to get Ali Muhammad Bey on the channel. Ali Muhammad Bey in the past has, this was a question from Thomas I. Temple. Do you support ARNA or Ali Muhammad Bey? Brother, my brother Ali Muhammad, I actually like that brother. You know, I think the brother have a lot of Moorish concepts, and the brother actually assisted me with some information in the past, that some advice rather. He gave me some advice in the past during the very great time. I took that advice, and basically it was some advice how to reach out to the police department in order to engage the police department during the time of the riots. And I took that advice, and actually I created some relationships within the Baltimore City Police Department in order to be sort of I haven't pushed it yet like I want to, sort of a representative. Long story short, a representative of the Moors. You know, I want to speak for the Moors here in Baltimore soon. But anyway, long story short, in the past, Brother Ali Muhammad has came at the Moors, particularly Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the doctrine as espoused by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali on YouTube. And I think it's time for the brother to face up to it. I think it's time for the brother. See, during the time when he made these statements, they have been going up against unqualified Moorish Americans. So now we have come out the temples, so to say, because at first Ali Muhammad would come up against people who really wasn't in temples. They did the best what they had to work with, but they really wasn't in temples. But now we have come out the temple and we're ready to address it. We want to address it. My brother Sharif Bey recently said, look, I'm out of retirement. Y'all know after he had to do what he had to do with Brother Reggie 2 years ago this April, he laid back and chilled. He ended up being conferred a few degrees. He ended up becoming a more intensely active member of the body of Moors that he's a part of, and he kind of fell back a little bit, began to grow the organization of Ali's men. And so recently he just mentioned that, yeah, I'm back. So, and I talk to him quite frequently, and I'm glad that me, him, Brother Ish have the relationship that we have due to the fact that we can reach out to each other for advice. We can be uncut raw with each other. And so it is what it is. You know, we ready to address whatever. Brother Ish has always stood 10 toes down. Ali's men always stood 10 toes down. And 2019, we turning it up. We ask anybody, if you want a respectable dialogue, come on in. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you, at this point, We want any and everybody who think that they have the solution for our people and have slandered, antagonized, or misrepresented the Moorish American ideal. We asking you to step up and have a respectable dialogue on the topic. And we ready when you are. We are ready when you are. It doesn't matter who you are. Listen, at the end of the day, we still gonna be brothers. We still gonna be sisters. But I'm calling anybody that want to have a respectable dialogue. We're not talking about a NIWGA fest. We're not talking about that. Anybody that goes for SETI, that goes for Lil Pharaoh, that goes for Dane Calloway, that goes for what's the other brother, the comedic guy, anybody, Amin Ra Squad, the brother, Jabari, anybody. We are ready to deal with anybody who have spread false lies about the prophet or the movement and what it represents. We ready to address it, but it got to be a respectable brotherly dialogue. It has to be a dialogue on the level of John Henry Clark when he dialogued. It has to be a dialogue respectable on the level of Dr. Ben when he dialogued and debated. It has to be on that level. We ain't talking about no dirty mud-slinging trash talking. We're talking about information to information. We ready to do it. And so if anybody wants to do it, let's do it. Because if I catch you out there slipping, talking about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali or the organization known as the Moorish Science Temple of America, we're going to call you out on it. I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to call you out on it. And that's just what it is. Anything you want to add to that, brother Ish? Yeah, Ish.
No, sir. There's no exceptions. There's no exceptions. You know, the dialogue, you know, respectable. We talk as men. We talk as the family. You know, and again, it can be in a dialogue, you know, type of a position, or it can be in a debate type of a position. But Moorish World TV has created that platform in order for those type of dialogues to take place, because that's how you get to the truth. No theatrics, no circus, no disrespect, no side chitter chatter, just the facts. So by doing that, that's what we invite for people to do. Come as the family, present your position. We present our position if it's in opposition to the truth, and we address it. That's all. Very simple.
Indeed. So look, let me show y'all something. Let me show you how my brother not playing. We not playing this year. We're not playing this year. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I want to explain something to y'all, family. Y'all, those that have been misrepresenting the Moorish Science Temple of America has been getting a free ride. You have been getting a free ride. We've been building on some stuff. But family, the buck stops here. As I was talking to you, I actually was looking over the other page to see if my brother Sharif had came up yet. And Sharif blazing on Facebook. I'm reloaded. Many, not all of you that hold dear to the false notion that the U.S. is a corporation do so only to try to assert that you have no obligation to obey the law and order and the rules of society. For instance, if you hold that this is true and because of it you are not legally bound to have auto insurance, etc., and you hit my vehicle and my granddaughters are in it, and you say to me, well, I'm a sovereign on my inherited land and therefore be not required to hold up. Let me get the other one. Hey, so let me get the rest of it. Let me get the rest of it right now. Let me screenshot the rest of it. And not required to. This is what I'm telling you. We ain't playing no more. It's not a game no more. It's not a game, family. It's just not a game anymore.
I don't know what he gonna write on there, but I do know that we do have that philosophy. If you hit my vehicle, and you start talking about I'm a sovereign and I don't need to have no insurance or nothing, I'm gonna separate your head from your body on that pavement. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
So look, if you this is what he said, and you say, well, I'm a sovereign on my heritage land, and therefore I cannot be required to carry insurance, etc. If you are not immediately handing over your wallet, you are not being prepared. You are not prepared for what comes next. Hey, I can't wait till Sharif get out of here. I gotta ask him, what comes next? These are not the tenets of civilized society, and the Prophet advocated and taught that none of the rights and liberties we would enjoy in a free society can happen outside of reciprocal helps and mutual obligations. Again, this is responsible movement. This is a responsible movement that implores Asiatics to be responsible. The U.S. is not a corporation. We dare you to refute what is presented here. Anybody wish to challenge it, send me your email to harkabay@yahoo.com and we can address it. Huh? We can address it. Anybody want to address it? Huh? Anybody? Where you at? But family, this is where we at now. It's not a game no more. It's definitely not a game no more because too many people has misrepresented the Moorish Science Temple of America. And so, Brother Garfield Reid, although I haven't talked about you much, I told you I would take it light on you because I actually like Garfield. Let me tell you something. I actually like Garfield. Garfield is a very knowledgeable brother. And one of the only ones outside of Zion Lex. Now, he didn't came up against a lot of people, but Zion Lex was a formidable opponent to him, backed him up against the wall, and Brother Sharif, you know. So, I actually like the brother because he's very firm on what he says. However, he don't know enough about the topic to debate it, in the words of Brother Sharif. You know, he got to know the topic. To know nationality, you have to know how it works and how it is implied, conferred, and utilized. If you don't know that, then you can't argue the point. If you don't know descent nature, if you don't know nationhood, how how nationhood rises up. If you don't know these basic things, then you know you really don't have you don't really have an argument. You really can't fight. I mean, not with the Moorish American. You can't fight with a Moorish American. You know, you can say what you want. You just strictly can't. You simply can't fight with a Moorish American because our information is not only centered around the laws that the Prophet Noble Ali put forth, but it's consistent with the laws of the land and the families of nation. So you really ain't got to fight. You really ain't got to fight. But with that being said, let me see if I can take you to another. I got some more stuff on here real quick. Take you to another video with my brother. What's his name? A Dagger Squad. Let me take you to Dagger Squad. Take you to Dagger Squad real quick. See, I'm gonna show you these videos real quick. I'm gonna try to narrate it.
All I'm saying to Sharif is Sharif doesn't know DNA for one. It's very obvious in this conversation. He has little knowledge about DNA and genetics. He's not on my level.
You hear that? He says Brother Sharif is not on his level. But for some reason, we can't get the brother to show up. Hold on.
I'm saying him.
You are good for this conversation, Brother Garfield, because you have made many comments, as it relates to we not being from the land of Moab. We can't be all of Moorish descent or of Moorish this. You said, and you know what I do like that you said that we could be Moorish American, but we all can't be Moors. I get that concept. However, That's him. So let me get one more. Here you go. Now this is when he thought he was doing something.
Just real quick. How many seconds I got left?
You good. I'm gonna let you substantiate who we are though before Sharif go.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much. Yeah, pretty much what we are is we are basically from West and Central Africa. And if you do the genetics, you will see that we have this is pretty much a map. If you go on the Brother Garfield channel, this is the map that you see. This is where we're primarily from. And when you do the DNA, we primarily have like between 12 to 15% European in us, and we'll have like 0.8% Native American.
So here he is teaching, but I'm gonna break this down in a minute.
But pretty much most of us have 78 to 80% Central or West African. That's where we're from. That's what we came from. 80% Native American. But pretty much most of us have 78 to 80% Central or West African. That's where we're from. That's what we came from. We didn't come from anywhere else. This is where they took us from the shores, whether from the Windward Coast, the Ivory Coast, the Gold Coast, the Slave Coast. It doesn't matter what you want to say. This is where African Americans come from. All right. Yeah, so I'll leave it there for now, and we could go into something else later on.
So all right. So listen, we're gonna use Brother Garfield information, right? Let's use Brother Garfield information for a second. I just shared his information. I mean, I just took a screenshot of his information, right? Now, he's saying that we're not Moors. Remember, the conversation is that we're not Moors. Now, one of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws acts will actually put you right on point. Give me 1 second. I'm about to share this with you real quick. He says that we are not Moors. But I'm going to show you the map that he used. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you an old one. I'm going to show you a map that he used real quick. If I can copy this real quick. Copy, cut. Bam. Bam. Put it there. Bam. Okay. So look, matter of fact, let me break it down for you. So, all right, before I break it down, I'm going to give y'all, I'm going to show y'all an old document real quick, right? Real quick, because this is the first one I could pull up. So what you're looking at here is one of the original, when the document was transferred from the design was different than this, but this actually said the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, right? As you can see. But we're going to zoom in on Act 6. Let's zoom in on Act 6. And I hope it be clear so we can see it. So this is Act 6. So I'm about to show you how you can't argue a topic if you don't know what you're talking about. So he said this is the area that he highlighted is saying this is the area that we're from. Right? When you look at this here, go to this last line. Let me read the whole thing. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we're teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this government, of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted to 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Northwestern is from the top, and southwestern all the way to the bottom. So for him to even point that out and say, no, we're not from there, we're not Moors, we're from here. Little do we know we're saying the same thing. But because he don't know enough about the topic, he's unqualified to even to have a conversation. Because surely from northwest to southwest, the shores of Africa covers all of this. Unfortunately, some Moorish Americans get stuck in Morocco. You know what I mean? But he said that we're descendants from these shores, from the tip to the bottom. Again, if you don't know the topic, it's hard for you to debate it. And I keep telling people who try to debate, I try to tell people all the time. I said it to Reggie before he debated Brother Sharif. I said it to Garfield. I say, bro, why don't you ask questions? Brother Sutek, you want to come on here? So everybody in West Africa was Moors. I can explain that too. Ask questions, Sutek. Ask questions. Don't shake your head. Ask questions and learn. If you were in a classroom and the teacher said something that was unfamiliar to you, do you say, get the F out of here? Or do you say, man, shaking my head? Or do you say, why is that, professor? Why? How did you come to that? See, we need, man, it was once said by a European, and he probably said it in a racist sense, that the quote unquote black people are the babies of the races. And the reason why he said that was probably racist, but when you think about it and you look at people's response when we dispense information, and the best thing they can do is start cussing, start shaking their head, pulling their hair out, and all of this weird stuff, it makes you wonder, do that have any truth to it? Do it have any truth to it? Because the point of the matter is, won't you just ask the question, how did you reach that? So Sutek, listen to what so Sutek, when you look at the article, the item or the act 6, it say Moorish Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabites. Yeah, let me give a call number. I might have to charge. Yeah, I'm gonna get a call number up here. Let's get a calling number. Yeah, I like that. Let's get a calling number real quick. And we're gonna get a calling number up here. Let me get 1 second. Let's get a calling number. Let me get my calling number up, family, and we're gonna get you to call in. Whoever want to call in. That's what we'll do. I like that. We're gonna talk to the family. I appreciate y'all. I like y'all. Yeah, let me see. What's my number? I gotta see my number first. I don't know my number. Okay, there it is. All right. Okay. So, there we go. I'm gonna answer that question too. Here's the calling number. Anybody wish to call in, you can call in, hit that number right there. Allow to use my microphone. All right, there we go. Anybody want to call in, you can call in with that number right there. So back to my brother. How did you come to the conclusion? So what happens is this. We're talking more of a bloodline, not more so the title. So we identify, for example, if I say that we are all Egyptians or all descendants of the Kemites, if you will, would anybody deny that? If a brother say, okay, we are descendants of Israelites, the Hebrews, most Hebrews say, no, they wouldn't deny that. So we're talking about a bloodline that supersedes titles. And when you look at the last stronghold, of northwest, southwestern shores of Africa, of our people, it was ruled under the Moroccan Empire. And so because it was ruled under the Moroccan Empire, that jurisdiction remains. Hold on.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice note.
That jurisdiction, one second. If we're going to talk about jurisdiction, that jurisdiction remains the last name of the identification mark of the people of Northwest Africa, Northwest Southwest shores of Africa. So I got somebody on the phone right now. Who you are? Where you calling from? Islam, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where you calling from, brother?
I'm calling from Jersey.
Islam. Come on with it, brother. What's going on? Talk to me.
I pull back up that statement that you put up of Noble Drew Ali, where he says that African Americans come from the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa.
Okay, here we go.
So who is the caller?
Yeah. What's your name, brother?
I'm in the chat. Ivan X.
Ivan X. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, brother. I got it up now.
All right. Where it says northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa, how did you interpret that as the entire western seaboard of Africa? It doesn't say that anywhere. Like, you just interpreted that. How did you come to that conclusion right there that that's what that means?
Because I'm interpreting it from one point to the other point. So when you say northwestern and you say and that's like in conjunction. When you say and to something, you're taking one point to the other point and you're making it a whole.
The word "and" being a conjunction also means also.
That's not what that means, though, bro. Like, if anyone that's literate enough to read knows that.
Okay, what does it mean?
That means. Northwestern means northwestern. Like, it's a specific geographical locale, just like southwestern is a specific geographical locale.
Okay.
You can't interpret something in that manner. That's incorrect. I'm just being honest with you.
Okay. Let me give you the other reason why. Because that whole geographical location that's interpreted like that was the Moroccan Empire.
Can you prove that, Dagger?
Yes.
With source?
Yes.
Pull the sources up, bro.
I'm gonna pull. It's gonna take me a second. Let me get another caller, and I'm gonna dig it out. But yeah.
Hold on, Targa. Let me get on one point real quick before you hang up the phone with me. Just one. I just want one point to touch on. When Sharif Bey and Garfield had their little last debate that they were in, Sharif pulled up a point about Clyde Winters doing a DNA analysis on some Mexicans out in Mexico having DNA from Africa. You remember this?
Yes.
Okay. When Garfield showed that Clyde Winters was a pseudoscientist who didn't have no degrees or anything in the subject matter that he was disseminating information from, how was that not counted as an L for Sharif when Sharif misrepresented information by bringing a pseudo source? Clyde Winters is the literal source of his own work, meaning there is no go-to. He made that stuff up.
Okay, listen to me. I said this to Garfield. I said, Garfield, you cannot prove Clyde Winters wrong unless you prove the source wrong of the DNA. Listen, hold up, listen. Garfield kept talking about Clyde Winters. First thing he would have to do is prove that the source is faulty. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to be fair. You just can't say.
Did you guys ever look up Clyde Winters?
Listen to me. Listen.
Sources up on this guy. He's a pseudoscience.
Listen to what I'm saying, though.
In the melanin theory.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me clear. If we say I'm using this DNA evidence that Clive Winters have used. We're not necessarily referencing Clive. We're using the source of the DNA. Now, hold up. Now, listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. Now, if he made it up, it would be a slam dunk as Garfield can prove that Clive Winters made it up. But if he can't prove that he made it up, or you can't prove that he made it up, and you just giving conjecture, then that doesn't really make a lot of sense either.
Yeah, brother. Why don't you simply provide us the source that you're disputing?
Somebody made up when they like tell Sharif Bey to give the source so we can actually go and look it up.
No.
Listen. No reference point for.
Listen, we can do that too, but what makes it even more more challenging, if you will, is if you say that source used by Clive Winters is pseudo and he pulled it out of thin air. Then show it, because he got names to the source. You understand what I'm saying, brother? Let's be fair, man.
Can you pull that source back up, bro, so we can go and check it? And I'll put it back. I'll put it in the live chat to show you that it's pseudo.
Listen what I'm saying.
It's not real. It doesn't lead you to anything.
Listen to me. I didn't produce the source. So
I'm here right now. I can do it right now.
Yeah, get Sharif Bey. Get Sharif Bey.
Hey, bro. Hold up, bro. Listen to me. When we talk about the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa, brother, there is many maps to show the boundaries of the Moroccan Empire, and it consisted with the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa, the whole seaboard.
You said you were gonna put that source up to prove that.
Brother, listen to me. I am gonna put it up. While Sharif is talking, listen to me. While Brother Sharif is talking, I am going to pull a map to show you,
the peace to Sharif Bey. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to show you that. But for someone to say, well, no, it means this doesn't mean that, and you're just saying something, you're gonna have to produce something also. You can't. I mean, because now I'm about to dig for something.
Talker, I'm literate, so I know it's
You're not literate to Moorish science. You're illiterate to the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Are the Moorish Science Temple of America's scribes or whoever wrote that particular documentation, are they writing in English using English grammar?
No, but what I'm saying is,
I'm correcting what I'm saying.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Have you researched? Have you researched and cross-referenced to make it make sense? Or are you just reading?
Research and cross-reference what?
When the Prophet Noble Ali say the Moors are descendants from the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Because let me tell you something. When I read that, you just grabbed it real fast. Brother, calm down for a second. I got to bring Brother Sharif.
Hold on. Let me say something to you real quick, bro. It's a statement, so you have to understand how that is supposed to be interpreted.
Bro,
that's a specific geographical locale, northwestern and southwestern. You can go and read this anywhere. If someone says, I live in the northwestern.
No, it doesn't work like that, brother, because within the doctrine of the Moorish Science Temple of America, there's other sources that the Prophet used and shows you where the Moroccan Empire extended from. So he's giving you a capsule within a nutshell in the Act 6. But if you go in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it shows you. He tells you. So you have to study the Moorish Science Temple of America and put it all together. You just can't read that and think you got something.
Targa, I need you to hold on, bro, because I think one thing I need you to comprehend is this. When we're speaking in English, these words actually mean something. When you make statements in English, these things are designations.
I'm going to try to get through to you.
Hold on. When you tell me northwestern and southwestern shores, that literally translates into the northwestern region and the southwestern region. Not what's in the middle. Or he would have said from the northwestern to southwestern shores of Africa. That's a proper translation of what you're interpreting. But he didn't say that, so that's not what that means, bro. You can take this to any college professor or any individual who has a higher depth education. They'll say the same thing that I'm saying to you. That is not what that means.
Okay. I hear you. What I'm trying to tell you, that statement in conjunction with multiple other statements clarify what the Prophet Noble Ali means. Do you understand that?
And that's all. Yes, I understand that, but let me ask you a question. Is these other references that you have that act as supports your argument. These are found within the Circle 7 Quran or whatever.
Absolutely. And it's consistent, and it's consistent with history of the Moroccan Empire and its territorial boundaries.
I don't want to go into the history of the Moroccan Empire. I want to go into the sources that you just said.
Yeah, the Circle 7 is definitely
supported by.
Yes, it's supported, brother. Yes. Chapter 48, Holy Quran of the Moorish Science of America.
Okay, can you prove that? Can you prove that one also? But I don't want you to forget that point. Sharif Bey said he was gonna put that source up.
Yeah, bro, listen to me.
Listen, bro, I'm waiting on you right now. I'm just waiting.
Come on the show. Why don't you come on the show and we'll take questions from you, but we'll also we'll provide every answer you want with sources. But we want to know what you stand on too. What do you stand on, real quick, before Sharif come in?
Well, I subscribe to the scientific theory of evolution by natural selection.
Okay, what group are you a part of? What group are you a part of to help liberate our people?
I can't be solo dolo liberating our people.
I only asked the question. Are you sensitive? I'm only asking a question.
Yeah, no doubt. Now I'm rocking by myself right now, liberating our people.
Okay.
But you have to understand, Targa, in order to, I've seen all the examples from the UNIA to Nation of Islam to the MSTFA to the Nuwapian Nation to the Black Panthers to
don't put us in the class with nobody.
I've seen all of these organizations.
Don't put us in the class with nobody. That's your fatal mistake.
People, but here we are today in the same situation that we're in.
Brother, we in the same situation. We in the same situation because you rock dolo.
We don't sit back and analyze this.
Bro, we are in the same situation because you. Bro, I gotta let you go on this though.
For, I don't know, 100 years or something.
Bro,
and what do we have to show for it besides?
Bro, this when you rocking dolo, we're gonna have the same thing. Brother, when we rocking dolo, believing in scientific evolution, we're gonna have the same thing in the next 100 years that we had the last 100 years. With that being said, I gotta bring my brother in, bro. I love you, my brother. Brother. I got you, bro. Let me bring my brother in, brother. Brother, I'm gonna get you on the show, brother. Put your email in there. Put your email in the chat. I like your conversation. Islam. I got it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. Man, that brother.
Why doesn't he just ask to be on the show?
Yeah.
Just ask to be on the show.
What blows me away, Brother Sharif, is when we say the Moors are descendants of northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa, right? They read that, but you haven't read the whole doctrine of the Moorish science of America, so you're going to be clueless,
brother. But here's the other part too. See, he was talking about understanding English, and in English words mean something. When the world is northwestern and southwestern specific. See, in modern day, Ghana is specific. Ethiopia is specific. You understand what I'm saying? Algeria is specific. Northwestern is general. Southwestern is general.
When you say Western, absolutely.
Come on, guy. Come on.
Like, I mean, the thing is, man, like I keep telling people, in order to understand the doctrine is taught by Prophet Noble Ali, make a Moorish American your friend and ask them questions.
Well, here's the other part too, brother, and salute to you on this one. People have had a long history in this conscious community of taking pop shots, feeling like they could take free pop shots at the Moorish Science Symbol of America and the Moorish movement. You know what I'm saying? But and the thing is, we've shown a great deal of resiliency in letting them do so up until recently. And here's the fact. They only go after the guy with the ball. That's just the fact. They only go after the guy with the ball. If everybody wants to take shots at us, it tells you how they really feel about us. I salute it, respect. You recognize what it is. That's how I feel about it. I want to start by saying first, rising, giving praise to Allah and honor to his prophet, the last prophet in these days and times, Noble Drew Ali, savior of humanity, savior of him as well. I want to give honors to Moorish Science Symbol of America, founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in 1913 AD. I want to give honors to all past and present leadership of the Moorish Science of America. I want to give honors to my brothers and comrades and Ali's men. I want to give honors to Moorish World TV, all of the faithful subscribers. I want to give honors to the creator and the host of Moorish World TV, Brother Sharif Bey. I want to give a shout out to his brand new, child on the manifest, you know, and his lovely queen. You know what I'm saying? You know, this movement, that's the foundation of nation building and uplifting fallen humanity is the family structure. That's what it is. I don't care what none of you will say. I don't care what type of studying and scholarship and trickle-down theory you got. If you ain't got a queen that believes in you and a seed that follows you.
Yes, sir, bro. Hey, listen, Brother Sharif, I don't mean to cut you off, fam. Listen, Brother Sharif posted something that really had me worked up this week. Brother Sharif posted that he's back. Fam, let me tell you something. Me and Brother Sharif, I felt as though me and that brother, when I came to social media and me and the brother became acquainted, I felt like I was his hype man. I felt like Flavor Flav to Chuck D. Because I'm telling you, when this brother unsheathed that scimitar, where that scimitar? When he unsheathed that scimitar, I just love how the brother just swing with precision. And no babies, no women ever get hurt when he swing the scimitar. Only the target. And so he says he's back. So brother Sharif, now you know and I know that I've been trying to get in contact with our brother, our friend, Brother Garfield Reid.
Yes.
Now, I want to share with the people what I shared with you, what you also shared with the family via social media, with the response from our brother. He probably watching now. And I told him,
shout out to Garfield Reid. That's my brother, you know, and shout out to the Dagger squad.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I said to the brother, brother, you know, I got to address this because the people are asking. The people want to know where you at, what you doing.
Right.
And I'm not getting a response. You know, at one time, Garfield will pick up on the first ring. You know, unfortunately, I'm not getting that first ring pickup no more. And so now I get a response from the text. And I'm not being condescending because Garfield, I really do like you as a brother. I love you as a brother. Actually, I really do. I like your personality. I like your challenging wit about you, even when you try to talk slick. But let me tell you something, bro. When I asked you, I said, Brother Garfield, what is going to be, brother? Let's get this thing set up because the people are waiting, the people are asking, and I'm going to share with the people right now what you're saying. I said, what's up, big bro? He says, I'm going to have to wait for a debate with Sharif. I can't present my case properly at this time, bro. I'm not prepared at this, I guess he would say time, too much going on. Okay, approximately how long? Just want to let the audience know. He said, to be honest, I don't know. But family, now let me take you to Garfield Reid's channel. Let's see. Garfield Reid. And then I'm going to pass it to Brother Sharif. Garfield Reid, I'm going through his channel right now. So as we go to Brother Garfield channel, watch this. He doesn't have time. You know, he don't have time. But when he said that, he did this was when he said that, real quick. He did a Q&A with Dagger Squad. Watch it. Right there. Oh, yeah, I got to compare. All this while he didn't have time. 4 days ago. 5 days ago. Okay, stop right there. I want y'all to pay attention. Stop. This is all when he didn't have time. Oh, yeah, I got to set the stage. I got to set the stage, Garfield. I got to do it. I got to do it. Now, watch this. All when you didn't have time. Now, let's go to Brother Garfield Live. And let's see what you've been doing on Garfield Live. Now, that was 4 days ago. Okay. Hold up 1 second. 1 second. That was Garfield Live? Or let's go to the other Garfield real quick. Let's go to the Dagger Squad, maybe. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got on the Dagger Squad. Garfield Dagger Squad. Let's go to the Dagger Squad. And anyway, on the Dagger Squad, family, he been alive and well debating everybody. That's what I'm pulling up. He's been alive and well. I mean, he been breathing fire.
Hold on, brother. I'm just realizing my brother Ishmael Bey is on the line. Islam, peace to the God.
Islam King, peace. Please continue with the hard gun. Peace to y'all. Love y'all.
Yes, Islam. I'm gonna open the floor real quick. But look, I just want to show the people. Look, he hasn't had time. But look here. What is the Akashic record? Meaning he's been studying. Who has he been studying, Brother Sharif?
Yeah, you already know, brother.
He's been studying Levi.
Yeah, he's been trying to peep into the book of Allah's remembrance.
He's being a little sly. Now, but also he had a debate with Jeremiah Judah 2 days ago. This is on 2 different channels. He's active, but he's too busy for you, Sharif. He's too busy. Okay, now, Brother Sharif. Back to Brother Sharif. Brother Sharif.
Yes, sir.
The brothers say that we are not Moors in that debate. Have you prepared yourself, or are you just ready to go off the cuff? Because I was showing some videos where the brothers say that he throws out these maps, and then he comes back and say that he wasn't ready and things of that nature. So, brother, how do you plan to reveal to the people our decent nature? Because this is not only, see, when we have a dialogue, it's also to let people know that the information is yours. Like, this is about us. This is not about the proclaimed Moorish American. It's for those who don't know who they are. Brother, how would you present, don't give it all up, present to the people, even with the brother asked the question about Clive Davis, as well as we being descendants of the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa as dictated by the Prophet Noble Ali. Can you go into that for a brief moment for us, brother?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I had the conversation with Garfield, I think, you know, and again, this just, you know, there was information that I presented. I'm definitely going to, for the sake of the readers and the listeners and the brother that was just on, you know, revisit the Clyde Winters paper, because that's monumental. All right. But anyway, the strongest points that I made in that entire conversation had little to do with scholarship. They had more to do with psychology. You know, the prophet said that if I can get you to think, you can save yourselves, which presumes what? If we're still in the same condition we're in, that means that we have not been able to collectively think. So it's psychology here, people. Let's just watch this. Watch this. Let's say we're calling ourselves green men from the moon. Let's just go with
the best analogies.
Let's just go with it for a second. If I could show you that the very people that taught the European civilization, let's pause for a second. Isn't the conscious community almost unilateral on that? That, we taught them civilization. They didn't know nothing. They got it from us, right? Right?
That's
so
right.
If I show you that, if I can give you the specifics, see, they speak very general about it. If I can give you the specifics on when our forefathers founded what we know today as Western civilization, old world Western civilization, but let's just say it was green men in the moon. You don't agree that it was green men from the moon. But if I can show you, we can argue all day long whether they were green men from the moon, red men from Mars, whatever they were called, whatever they called themselves, whatever other people called them. But regardless of the fact, if I can show you that those very people that founded old world Western civilization and then lost it to these other people and then were chased and enslaved by these other people, and that you yourself are the descendants of those other people, then my job is done. You want to argue about whether there was a J in Jesus or not? You want to argue about that nonsense? You go ahead. We didn't argue about it. You go ahead and do that. But the fact of the matter is that this movement founded in 1913, and yes, I saw the one point by the one brother in the chat, or it wasn't founded in 1913, show and prove. Get on the show. We'll do that. That's another show topic, right? This movement was founded in 1913 to connect you with those people. You want to argue about what we call ourselves, and you want to argue about what they're called in history, that's on you. But the fact of the matter is that they're the same people. If we could demonstrate that the people that were expelled out of Spain ended up on ships, ended up fighting the Europeans and the Portuguese and other Europeans, and ended up on ships and ended up in America, then there's no way in the world that you can deny in any shape, form, or fashion that we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America, or descendants of whatever those people were called in history and born in America. It's that simple. It's psychology, people. You got to learn how to think.
So, brother, what is this? What is this idea that these brothers keep coming up with that that the DNA presented by Clive Winters is flawed, or he grabbed it out of thin air, or didn't Clive Winters source the DNA?
I'm so happy you brought that up. If you all recall, if you go back, if you don't remember, go back to the original conversation. When I brought up the paper by Clyde Winters, that pretty much kind of ended it. Why? Because I mean, the brother could respectfully, the brother cried about that paper the rest of the conversation. Right. And what he did was he tried to discredit the presenter. He tried to discredit Clyde Winters by saying, oh, well, he's a pseudoscientist. No, you have to vet the paper. You have to vet the paper. You have to vet the information. You can't, because let me tell you what that's called, people, in scholarship. That's called ad hominem. Look it up. In other words, you can't successfully rebut what was presented, so you make it personal and you try to attack the presenter. That's called ad hominem. You know what that really means? That means you lost by default. That's what it means. That's what it means in the debate. In debate, that's what it means in scholarship. It means you're faulty now because you have now left the debate. You've left the discussion. You're no longer addressing the issue. But here we go, people. We're going to pull the paper up right now. Hold on. Share my screen.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, here we go. You ready? Everybody look at the top of the paper. Look at what it says. I want you to understand this, people. It says Indian Journal of Fundamental and Applied Life Sciences. Open access, online international journal. Research article. Do you understand what that means? Let me tell you what that means, people. This is a science journal. That means it is something called peer-reviewed. It is peer-reviewed. It couldn't have made the publishing desk unless and until it was properly vetted. That's what it means. Now, let's go a little further. Everybody sees this?
Yes, sir.
He places his results here, not only the results, but the sources of the results. Here we go, people. Take a look at that.
Take a look at that. That's my bad.
Here they are right there. So this whole, he sourced himself. Come on. At least do yourself the respect of reading the paper first. Don't appeal to people's ignorance and laziness by running off the mouth and running some more. Oh, well, he sourced himself. He's pseudo. Says who? At least read the paper first. The debate was over when I presented this right here, people.
Hey, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
That's like.
That was crazy.
Hold up, you broke up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm back.
That's like spoons make people fat.
Yeah. Come on.
Hey, bro, you know I got all your little like spoons make people fat. Hey,
yeah.
Hey, look.
It's just being responsible, brother. It's just
oh man, you're cracking up. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
There's your speaker cracking up a little bit.
How about that? Can you hear me now?
It's got an echo. Let me see if I can mute mine.
How about now?
Yeah, it got an echo and a scratch to it.
Is that better?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Sound like somebody in the machine. What they playing? They playing game.
I hear Sharif okay, Brother Tarka. I don't hear him breaking up.
Okay.
Oh, that might be me then.
Yeah.
Do I sound okay?
You sound fine on this end.
Yeah, I hear you just fine, Tarka.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see what the people say. Oh, go ahead, bro. It might be me.
But my point is it's a matter of just being responsible. These dudes are they're more concerned with winning a discussion or winning a debate than proper education. That's my point. If you successfully vet a source that I put up or something that I say, then I win because I learned something. You see what I'm saying? I learned something. These dudes, they're too concerned with winning a debate, which means it's about them and not about service. It's not about service to humanity. It's not about uplifting fallen humanity. See, right. This is not a hustle for me. You know what I'm saying? Even for you. I mean, yeah, you do what you do, your numbers on YouTube, but brother, anybody that knows you knows that you're a businessman. You were a businessman before you did this YouTube thing. You know what I mean? These are things that we raise our children by. It's a different thing. We different,
That's right. You better believe it. You better believe it.
I'm not trying to get up here saying anything that I will not give to my granddaughters.
Right. And brother, that's one thing that bugs me. That I mean, it really bugs my mind. Like some of this stuff I hear, like, is that what you teach your family?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for real, like my brother said, I'm a spiritual scientific evolutionist. Like that's what you teach your child? No culture, no great civilization.
Well, first of all, brother, it wasn't an answer to your question. That's what made it funny. It wasn't an answer to your question. You talked. The position was your question was what's your position relative to our identity,
and then
he didn't answer the question. Again, these dudes can't think, or either that, or they habitually refuse to.
I think that's what the problem is. They knowingly and intentionally feed people that they know won't even try to look any further than the information. So they think a lot of slick talk gets them through for the moment. Right. But in reality, what happens is this audience here is actually very well informed as far as the listening audience of Moorish World. Yes. So if we are supplying sources and we say study the sources, somebody else are used to talking to their demographic that are only used to surface knowledge.
Right.
But here you are supplying the source referencing and saying study the source referencing as opposed to the shell game of attacking who was ever talking at that time.
Right. It's just disingenuous, people. It's disingenuous, That's not what we do, man. The prophet said Moors are men, upright, independent, and fearless. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Hey, listen. Let me tell y'all something. Look, all right, hey, brother, because we're gonna rock this out for the next 15 minutes. But I gotta tell y'all something. Look, check this out. So in reality, right? Brother Sharif, that's my guy. I feel like Jay when he talks about big, and he be like, man, I big up my brother because I'm big enough to do it. Brother Ishmael, my guy. I big up my brother Ish. I big up my brother Sharif, right? But it's a special difference. It's a different kind of thing in this Moorish paradigm today. Right now, everybody is looking for the Moors to guide them and lead them to the promised land idealistically. And that's why so many people come at us. You know what I mean? They don't come at us like they used to because now they know they got to answer to quite a few people. But I'm going to tell you something. Brother Sharif, right? If it wasn't for Brother Sharif, I wouldn't have my morbitis right now. Brother, you got to think about that, right? My morbitis, she came into the Moorish Science Temple of America from seeing one of Brother Sharif's videos. So you already know, me and this brother, we gonna go ahead and rumble this thing out intellectually back to back.
Facts.
We gonna rumble this out back to back.
That's right.
because there's nowhere in the world that I would be where I'm at concerning me being balanced with my sister and my queen. You know what I'm saying? So me and Sharif, we're gonna battle this thing back to back. So anybody that wants to bring some information intellectually, we invite.
I gotta, you know what, and you know what. First of all, I'm honored. I really, really am. You know, to have been a part of that. You know, knowingly or unknowingly. You know, but I also too got to speak. You know, regarding my brother Ishmael. He and I go back nearly 30 years.
Yes, sir.
You hear me? But here's the thing I want to say relative to what you just said. This man has been with his wife all this time, bro. I've watched his children grow up. You understand?
That's family.
Oh, that's what a movement is made of, brother. It ain't made of slick talk on Facebook. Not what it's made of. You know? Sooner or later, you dudes got to push away from your laptop and go outside and let it be known to the people that you're supposed to serve that you are who you are.
Brother Sharif, and getting straight to that point right there, I got a show coming up talking about recycling of RV Bay.
Ooh.
Bro, and I would love to have you on that show. And I'm going towards right now. I'm not even. I put a few faces on there, but that ain't even really the topic. Actually, that's for sensationalism, if y'all want to know. But in reality, though, Brother Sharif and Ishmael Bey, they, as he just told you, 30 years, they was at the head of representing some of this stuff that people push today. And I definitely would like them on the show as I talk about how today they just recycling the same thing of yesterday. But the difference between today, they not even making the accomplishments that y'all made yesterday.
No, brother, we were just talking about this earlier today. You know what one of the big differences is? And see, my brother Ishmael is right here. See, right here. We would brother, man, listen. There was no social media to brag about. In other words, if people knew that you were about that, it's because you did it, not because you made some cool post and got 20 likes. You know what I'm saying? It was because you did it. You were actually in the courtroom talking crazy to judges, making it so that judges wouldn't come out their chambers. See, Ishmael is right, and he could bear witness. He was there. You see what I'm saying? You know, you could talk about, people knew about me and that whole sovereign citizen demonstration, brother, because I had the black Ford F-150 truck with no plates and registration, running around crazy with my head chopped off for 3 years and never got arrested, never got picked up. They saw me do it, brother. You see what I'm saying?
With the feds in the back window.
Right, with a tell them about it. When we was flying like 70 miles an hour coming from Cleveland, Ohio. Remember that in the winter?
Right. And the point is this. I was explaining to Harker earlier on the show. They were changing laws live time as we were doing that. 1 week. Yeah, 1 week we would walk into the federal building, go from the federal building directly to the congressman's office, and then go downstairs to the Social Security office to make our demands met. The next week, when we have another wave of people coming with us, they would now put security guards that were federal employees to guard us from stopping and going. So they were changing laws and altering things live time as we were doing this to make sure that they could close up the loopholes. We were opening up and exposing openings and pushing through as many more as possible because we knew that it was a race going on. So we would be in a federal courtroom on one case, be at the federal building at the next case, and still making sure that we were building a more society at the same time, but laws were changing at the same time.
Yeah, we're talking to judges. Shout out to Judge Neil P. McKern, federal judge, Eastern District, who said out of his own mouth, he said, "Yeah, a lot of the things you guys are saying were right. You knew more than we did. The problem is we weren't following the law." That's exactly what he told us. What is wrong? So again, see, a lot of these dudes are what they're doing now, they think is Moorish modus operandi, and they think they're coming up with something brand new. And because we're not agreeing with them, they think we don't know it. My man, we were doing this 25 years ago.
Yeah.
25 years ago, we was doing that foolishness.
So, bro, in comparison, what you see today, bro, they look real sloppy what they doing today.
Right.
It looks real sloppy. It doesn't even look as it's dignified. It just looks like weed heads trying to get away with something.
You know, beat child support, traffic charges, traffic tickets, and weed charges, and maybe a few gun charges. You know, always want something for nothing. Again, but my brother Ishmael's here, he could bear witness. I honestly believe, because we weren't right. We just knew more than the people we were up against at that time. And I honestly believe the only reason we still breathing is because we were sincere.
I believe that also. We were more sincere, as well as making sure that we were meeting those opposing us where they were at. We were in full suits. We weren't just putting on just no baggy clothes and then marching into a courtroom. We were fully suited with briefcases, you know, fully representing our position.
That's right.
And making sure that if the judge wanted to talk to us in their chambers, we are going to make sure that we were on point with all the documentation of what we were walking in on, because we had no laptops.
That's right.
There's no such thing.
That's right, brother. That's a fact, brother. That's a fact. So, would you see with these guys today, Brother Taharka? Would you see with these guys today? I'm going to tell you the saving grace, honestly. The saving grace is that they could grandstand in front on social media. So that's what 95% of them do. You know, only a few of them actually get out here, but see, it's a different world out here 25 years later. You know, let me just say this real quick for the listening audience. You know, we have members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and members of the Moorish movement in law enforcement at the local, state, and federal levels. So when we say this, we know what we're talking about. 15 years ago, they started training law enforcement at all these levels in dealing with so-called sovereign citizens. And it was because some European sovereign citizens had shot up a number of state troopers over a stop on the highway. And because they studied their ideology and their mindset, they have an SOS on sovereign citizens. And if you don't know what SOS means shoot on sight. That's what it means. They were puzzled about 10 years ago when they realized that the complexion of the sovereign citizen movement changed from Europeans out in the suburbs to Asiatics with fezzes on and no discipline. You know what I'm saying? And so, but guess what? The SOS order is still in effect. Shout out to our sister Corinne Gaines, who listened to that nonsense down there in Baltimore. You already know the rest.
Man.
You know? The bottom line is that 95% of these dudes ain't going to do what they run in their mouth about doing on social media. Or what they'll do is they'll do it via mail in what they call a so-called special appearance. That's how they'll do it. You know, they're not going to look the judge in the eye. They're not going to look the prosecutor in the eye. They're not going to do that. And the few that do, shouts to them in this sense. At least they got the guts.
Bro, you know what? You're absolutely right. That's what blows me away.
Yes.
A brother I was talking to today, and I like this brother. His name, I just say his first name, Issa. I like the brother because me and him can disagree. I'm talking about he's one polar. I'm at the other end of the spectrum. I'm talking about we're just totally opposites. Mm-hmm. He supports the Marrakesh ideal. I'm like, brother, be for real. Be for real. And we go at it. But at the end of us going at it, we cool.
Right.
Man, I mean, we cool, you know, and I like the brother. So the brother said that you know, the stuff that Marrakesh teaches, it works. And so I asked him what actually works.
Right.
And so he didn't really give me an answer that made any sense. However, he said, what nation are you a part of? Something to that effect, blase, blase. And I said to him, you know, basically, I forget how the conversation went in great detail, but basically, this is the nation that we're part of. Da, 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 da. So he says, well, he's a part of a different nation, society, or something like that. And I said, did you expatriate?
Oh,
he said, no, not yet. I say, well, before you expatriate, make sure that the writers of the book and these chief hustlers expatriate before you. Let them do it first. Don't you go and do it if they didn't do it. Yeah, let Elamine and all of them expatriate before you, because I like you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But they are the ringleaders. Let your teachers show you the way to go. And he's duly noted.
Right, bro.
They're teaching this madness, yet they're not doing anything that they're teaching. After that viral video in court, they seen a way to make money and buy weed and keep it pushing. But since then, nobody have seen them represent or stand on any of this stuff that they're talking about. And so, not to put you or anybody else in the middle of this conversation that I like to have with these brothers, because I love these brothers just the same. But I know you're a hustler. Why? Because I used to be a hustler.
Right.
I mean, real recognize real, but I was never a dirty hustler. Put it that way. I was just in the low.
Those are my brothers, man. You know, shout out to those brothers. Shout out to Moorish Kush. You know, a number of things I'll say about those brothers. One, a lot of the historical stuff that they've been pushing, I respect. It's dope and it's accurate. You know, I do not agree with their position on citizenship and all that other stuff. I don't agree with that. And I do agree that, yeah, their end game is, you know, they're making $1 off their materials. I agree with that. Doesn't mean they're not my brothers. You know, just because we disagree doesn't make us adversaries or enemies, contrary to how they feel about me. But those are my brothers.
And we've also, on Moorish World TV, Taharka's taken the time to interview multiple individuals who have expatriated. The first person that he brought on was Brother Self Kingdom Allah. Brother Self Kingdom interviewed with him, and he gave a firsthand testimony of the nightmare that he went through by expatriating.
Correct.
The nightmare of not being able to, like, yo, I can literally be deported and never come back here again. Luckily for Self Kingdom Allah, he was, I think it was like only 18 when he had done it. So he was able to plead. It was like a bit of a gray area that he was able to get his citizenship back. Wow. But he was able to come back on the other side to explain the nightmare that he went through by expatriating, by listening to people who was telling him that. And then Taharka went further and brought another person on who had expatriated. Brother Taharka, can you explain some of that experience of what that person shared?
Oh man, that brother said I think he said it took about 5 years to get back into the country or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it took him some time to get back into the country, but they treated him just like Trump is treating those with the at the south of the border.
Right, he was like in refugee camps and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brother, do you know? Okay, Ishmael knows this brother because it was really, if we're very technical, the brothers that brought Moorish science or Moorish awareness to Syracuse, New York, was myself, Brother Ishmael Bey, and another brother by the name of Forrest Webb, aka Sovereign Bey. Shout out to my brother.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Sovereign Bey.
Sovereign Bey, aka Forrest Webb, is the original Rocksteady crew. He's a DJ, world famous. He's all over the world. He told me, and you could get him on here to tell the story about a guy who was doing some of that same type of nonsense and left the country with them to go to Australia, but was on that World Service Authority nonsense before there was World Service Authority in terms of passports. And let's just put it like this. This was over 10 years ago. He is still in U.S. Customs. He is literally Neo in Matrix Reloaded in the train station, brother. Word is bond. He is
what happens
in U.S. Customs and has been there for over 10 years.
And hey, bro, and when we talk about national, like when I look at my brother Cannon Bey, who will be on here Thursday, and we're talking about conferring nationality. That's going to be a good topic. Anyway, when we start talking about we are government, but the Prophet Drew Ali makes it clear we are part and parcel of the said government. But however, when people start talking this stuff, we are government, and you are claiming your independence of the United States government, and you're the United States Republic. What's so funny to me is that we are the only people on the face of the earth, the unconscious Asiatics here in America, who do not understand the power of citizenship. We are the only, bro. Let me share a clip with the people real quick.
Yes, sir.
You have, and I've been following this story of a lot of different people around the world are coming to America just to give birth.
Actual fact.
For citizenship.
Actual fact.
For citizenship. Like, here's a video right here with the Russians. Check it out.
Came to Miami to give birth. As a result, their babies are American citizens.
You hear this?
To give birth. As a result, their babies are American citizens.
Yes.
That's right. Russian mothers, American babies.
I'm such type of mom who want to give her child the best what I can do.
And the best is an American passport. To give birth in Miami, a status symbol back in Russia. While the practice is controversial, it's perfectly legal. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution makes anyone born on American soil an American citizen.
Whoa. Whoa.
You talking about Sharif?
Whoa.
Hey, bro.
American citizen.
If American citizen
makes anyone born on American soil an American citizen.
So how it's, see, I didn't already gave up the show with
Whoa.
So the question becomes is, how is nationality and citizenship conferred?
Brother, can I say something really quick?
Yes, sir.
And you know, without and it won't, you know, I don't believe at all it'll dovetail.
No, brother, you good. You can go, because you know why? You know why, brother? I want you to go and let it all out, because guess what? Every time I deal with topics like this, it's just another teaching moment. I don't see it as going to turn anybody around who's in the game of hustling our people. But it's get the information out to our people so they won't get caught up in the nonsense. So, brother, let it all out.
Well, you know, the prophet said that this is an intelligent movement, and those in it should represent it intelligently. One of the things that we strive to do with Ali's men, and I know my brother Ishmael Bey does as well, is you have to, especially if you're talking about the teachings of the Prophet Drew Ali in this organization, you have to understand them within the context of actual history. That's it. You can't be in your own little bubble making stuff up because it sounds good and you're using the words of the Prophet. It doesn't work that way. It's got to make sense within the framework of history, or else you yourself are just holding church. You see what I'm saying? It's got to make sense. If it makes sense to me, if it's intelligent, it's going to make sense to anybody else hearing it, not just me in my temple, in my meeting.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly, bro. And that's one of the things that I teach, and anybody that's in, especially our Guidance of the Nation class. One thing I teach, and actually I got it from my elders, Ali's men, and from even the Facebook chat of Ali's men. If you cannot prove it, leave it alone. If it doesn't stand next to the reality and what we live in, and it can show and prove and have legs just like the laws we live in today, and if you can't verify it, leave it alone.
And be very careful of the people that come amongst the myths. There was a couple of years ago, I went to a Moorish event with Brother Denham L. And we drove to Philadelphia. I think our brother Snow Bay was there too. I think it's the first time I ever had met Snow Bay. But there was a Caucasian that had came in at the event. And he came in and he was talking about how he can make you the world citizens. And if you just get on board with this world passport, you can be an international citizen. And I call Brother Denham by his nickname. And I said, don't you get caught up in that.
That's right, brother.
He's gonna get you caught up in some mess, and I know that you know better. But this was through Pleasant Bay, and Pleasant and actually Brother Denham L. His title was Swift Angel number 2. So in other words, Pleasant Bay was number 1, and he was Swift Angel number 2. So I was like, don't you get caught up in that mess. He gonna get you caught up in some mess. That cracker gonna get you caught up. So he said, I'm not. I rest assured, Ish, I'm not gonna get caught up. But Yasin Bey ended up getting caught up and using that world passport, the same world passport that white boy was trying to get the Moors to do at that same event.
Ain't that something?
And the nightmare of what he went through when he went over to South Africa, rapper Mos Def, Yasin Bey, it was horrific. And I'm sure he learned a valuable lesson from that. But you got to be careful of the people that come amongst the midst of Moors with that foolishness.
Listen, we in the temple. Me, my elder, Edwardsell. Shout out to Edwardsell. Honor to the brother. We're in a temple one day, and class just let out. This is before I come to social media, but I'm always rah. No, the prophet meant this. The prophet meant that. Da, da, da. So a brother walks in and begin to ask it, could he come and teach about birth certificate and how to cash out on the birth certificate and what it's worth. And
wow.
And he walks in the temple with this. So I wanted to handle this. This is before I came to social media. I said, well, brother, we would gladly have you give a presentation. Only if you can show us the check of what you say it's worth.
There you go.
We will gladly. If you say that this is on the stock market and it's worth $1 million and whatever the case may be, show me the check. He said, well, brother, I want to tell. I said, no, we need to see the check or we can't go any further.
That's
Do you
right.
know this brother walked out the street? I jumped in my car. He went to the bus stop.
See?
This is how this stuff works. You know what I mean? So my thing has been to, when you buy into status correction, ask the seller how has it benefited them. You got this brother Kane Farrow. He on social media with strippers and blunts in his hand and all of this madness, talking about he's a nation. And unsuspecting Asiatics is buying into it. Now, if the best thing his information can do is keep him in a strip club and a blunt and a drink in his hand, and you want to be a part of that nation, man, you have the issue. He don't have the issue.
That's right.
He's good. He's been doing that for a minute. But if you want to be a part of a nation that the representative has nothing to show for his leadership of that nation, except for a blunt and booty shaking Asiatics unconscious, what type of nation is that? That's insane. Let me share one more time before we close out, fam, because I want to drive this one home. Yes. Everybody that acts as if, you know, when the Moorish American, we wave our American flag. Oh, why are you wearing that American flag? Family, let me show you something. The reason why, because the principles, forget for a second what has been perpetrated
under it.
The principles of what it stands for don't change.
That's right.
They don't change. And the principle for what it stands for is known around the world. So I just showed you a Russian. Now, let me show you a Chinese person.
Mario Caballero travels to China often for business, but what he's selling is a bit out of the ordinary.
Twins. Lots of twins.
Lots of twins.
Oh,
Caballero is the founder and CEO of Extraordinary Conceptions, a surrogacy agency. In the past few years, business from China, where surrogacy is illegal, has been booming. The California-based agency...
They have turned trying to get citizenship in the United States a business. Look at this.
He has 10 to 15 Chinese clients per month. That's about 65% of the agency's total clientele.
It is a really hard process.
Tere Banwet will be a surrogate this year for a Chinese couple who tried and failed several times to have a child on their own.
They're always saying, thank you so much, thank you. And honestly, like, it just feels good to be appreciated and that somebody is depending on you to give them what they've been wanting for so many years.
Tere will receive about $30,000 to be a surrogate, but the overall cost to the family receiving the child can be as high as $225,000 for medical and legal fees and donor eggs if necessary. The reasons for the rise in demand for American surrogates in China are many. Better medical care is one. The ability to choose sex, illegal in China, is another. And instant American citizenship is also a factor. And instant American citizenship is also a factor. Illegal in China is another. And instant American citizenship is also a factor.
So look, what's amazing to me, right, of our people, you have all groups of people trying to figure out how to get in the system to circumvent and use the power of the system to benefit them and their people. This is why I say it's agent behavior, because the Prophet Noble Drew clearly said we are part and parcel of the same government.
That's right.
Clearly says that. We clearly fly the American flag. We clearly say what's good for our citizens is good for us. We clearly try to exact our American citizenship in order to have a balanced, equal playing field. It takes our unity to make this happen, though. But then you got somebody that coming out, well, no, we're not citizens. Oh, no, we're not. Man, you're a part of that scam to try to get our people stay on the bottom for the next 100 years. You're part of that group that try to keep our people on the bottom. Because if you can tell me that you got Chinese people, Russian people, and every other people outside the country trying to get in so they can pull something out, and you trying to drive our people up out of what we built. This is the crazy part about it. We know that this country was built on the back of our people, and now you want to try to run out of it?
Right.
You gotta be crazy. Right. I'm gonna build this house that I'm living in, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? It ain't my house.
Those are the guys, brother. Those are like the guys that say that there's no value backing Federal Reserve notes, but they ain't for a hot second about to give those Federal Reserve notes up to anybody.
It remind me of, in closing, it remind me of my brother Divine L. He said, bro, while I was working with the big brother Taj, he said, man, they kept talking about fiat. They just kept talking about fiat. He said, but man, let me tell you, man, they wasn't turning none of that fiat down.
That's right.
He said when they left them events and they were selling them, because he controlled the printer. He would print out all them little books. I mean, he was the right hand man. He was printing out all the books. And he said, man, they was taking all that fiat, but they talking about this fake money. But they ain't letting none of it go.
Right, exactly.
But anything you want to share in closing, brother Ishmael, I appreciate you, brother. I was messing with you early, brother. I know you ain't got no Christmas tree. Oh, you got a tree up there, Ishmael.
No, sir. Never had no tree up, bro. That's a fact.
Are you singing Christmas Carol? This is my son told me. He said, Daddy, I was in school. He said, Daddy, they're gonna try to. They asked me that I want to sing on the stage. I told them that I can't sing on the stage because I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm a Moorish American. He's 8 years old, right? So I said, good job, Taji. I said, you want to sing on that, don't you? He said, well, kind of. I said, yeah, you think it's fun? I said, well, listen, what's happening is indoctrination. And I'm gonna say this to y'all family: never underestimate your children. Your children are very smart. They're very intelligent. And so I say, understand what indoctrination is. He said, what is that, Daddy? I said, let's Google it real quick. So we went into what indoctrination is, et cetera, accepting things without verification and whatever. And so the next day he came home from school, he said, Daddy, I got on the stage and I was singing. I said, what? He said, "Ha, I'm just playing, Daddy." I was. He said,
he pulled the Tahaka on Tahaka.
That's what he said, bro. He said, "I was just playing, Daddy," because as I was sitting there watching them sing, and I was thinking about them indoctrinating me. He's 8 years old. I'm telling you, family. And one thing I said to my son, I said, everything that anybody may get during this holiday season of which they celebrate, you already got and will get if you keep your grades up and you keep doing what you're doing. So, family, never underestimate your children. They're very intelligent. They are very intelligent. They know when somebody is pulling a scam on them. They know. But guess what? We go along with the scam, and then we verify that it's okay to be scammed in a young mind. So I don't verify that it's okay to be scammed in my son's mind. And so tomorrow, we are going to we're gonna participate in Kwanzaa. And then January 8th, we're going to demonstrate the Prophet's Noble Drew Ali birthday. I'm going to temple number 11 on that day. And on Sunday, we're going to have a dinner with temple members. So we got enough holidays, holy days for our people. I'm going up to see my Grand Sheik, my brother, my friend, the Grand Sheik of all the people in the world, Brother Azim Hopkins Bey. I just had to do that. I'm going to spend the day with my brother at Temple 11. His wife is going to be like, y'all talk too much. Every time y'all get together, y'all just keep talking. So brother, the Grand Sheik and y'all going to have to separate for a minute, but because I don't get to see him much. So I'm going to spend time with the brother. Islam, anything anybody want to add?
I would just like to share that the most important thing and the most beautiful thing that somebody could share on December the 25th is a moment of time with fellow Moors, being able to build with the family and share and expound information. To sit as students and to share information as teachers is the most precious gift that something can give. And you being able to share that time with us and us being able to share that time with you makes this type of a day all the more special, because it's the extension of the family and the growing of the family. So I want to thank you, Brother Tahaka. Thank you, listening audience. Thank you, Brother Sharif Bey. And may Allah continue to bless you in each and every one of your endeavors as we move to a very prosperous and blessed new year. So thank you so much, family.
Indeed. And brother, and I definitely appreciate you, brother. You always there at the drop of a dime. You're always there every time I reach out to you. It doesn't even matter what it is. You always there, brother. And I'm gonna tell you, brother, I wish I had the time, and I don't, but I'm gonna put it together where I can put together memorable moments. One of my most memorable moments this year is when you and I was in Washington, D.C. And brother, that memory right there will stand with me till I'm in the ground, brother. That moment right there was so special to me. And when I look back at it, think about it, still give me unbelievable chills to know that I'm just a regular guy, that just love the Prophet. And I don't care what group you're part of, or I just love the Prophet. I'm real hard when it comes to the truth. As I understand it. That don't mean I know everything. That don't mean I'm always right. But I just love the Prophet. And brother, for you and Malik Zulu Shabazz afforded me the opportunity to demonstrate our Prophet on the White House lawn and that big church in DC, brother. It was such an honor, and I appreciate you for that.
Well, you being humble, you say you're an ordinary man or you're an ordinary guy, but you're an extraordinary guy. And that's why Allah uses you as a vessel. You're extraordinary. Brother Sharif is extraordinary. And Moors, we just different. Real Moors, we different.
Yes, sir.
Indeed. How about you, Brother Sharif? Anything you want to add in closing?
Brother, I'm just honored to be amongst such luminaries. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be on this side of the manifest. This is turn up time now. You know what I'm saying? We got next.
Yes.
That's it. And not just in this, not in the sense of talking. This is all marketing. You know what I'm saying? When you could walk into the building and see that Circle 7 on the building. You know, shout out to Temple Number 5, St. Louis, Missouri. Brother T.I. and Bill, Grand Governor for the state of Missouri. You know, they worked Operation Proclamation, brother. They got buildings. You understand? They renovated their temple. They got the Circle 7 up in the ceiling, brother. You know what I mean? When we could do that type of thing with what you're doing with the village, you know, when you have, see, that's building, bro. You know, like I said, we got next. That's all I got.
Islam. And family, you right, brother. We got next. And family, let me tell you, this would not be possible without you, the Moorish World TV supporters. You know, you're steady growing, you're steady supporting, whether you proclaim Moorish American or not. You show up every week. As we ready to close out, the numbers dropping down, but we was all the way up to 160 people, and that's a beautiful thing because Brother Sharif and Ali's men was here from day one when we was with 20 people, and we were excited to see 100 views the next day, and then 200 views, you know, and so when this go down, it'll be probably about maybe 800 or 700 views. And we're not tripping off the views. The views is only an indication that the message is getting out.
That's right.
It's an indication that the message is getting out. And so if this wouldn't be possible without you, the audience, the viewer, the supporter, because it's a difference between having 30,000 subscribers and 1,500 views. And I got 7,000 subscribers, and I have 1,500 views within a few days. And within 6 months, my viewership matches my subscribership. And so this is support of the subscribership. And I appreciate y'all. Know that for sure. I appreciate y'all. Because see, I know the difference between somebody with 10,000 subscribers and 150 views within a week. That means you don't have support. That means you got people that just looking and peeping in the shadows of what you're talking about. But this is true support from Moorish Americans proclaim and those who just like Tahak Bay and the Moorish American Muslim platform. And I appreciate y'all, and make no mistake about it. I'm going to do everything humanly possible to include you in this endeavor of uplifting fallen humanity. So if you are Hebrew, I want you to have a store in the Moorish village. I want you to have a store in the Syracuse building district. I want if you scream Black Power and you got red, black, green flags, send them up there. You know, if you say you are comedic science, send us some unks. Create a store within the Moorish village or within Syracuse or St. Louis, you know, because in reality, the reality is this: you can call yourself what you want. I know who I am, and you know who you are.
That's right, brother.
You call yourself what you want.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, we got to get this economic thing off the ground. And only then can we put the engine of our political power in effect. That's right. It's going to take finance for this.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so family, it doesn't matter whether you proclaiming or not proclaim Moorish American. If you support me, if you support the channel, if you support the Moorish American, as I say in that song, if you're a friend of the Moors, then you're a friend of mine. That's just what it is. And so we appreciate you. 2019 is definitely turn up time. I'm looking forward for all the great things that's yet to come. This division that you think exists don't really exist. It's an illusion.
That's right.
It's an illusion. Right. We need to be able to have conversation that's a little bit touchy, but at the end of the day, the real work is on the ground, you know? And so, hey, man, shout out to the Nation of Islam for coming to the channel, doing their thing, you know, because we're going to have more intense conversation as the days go on. But guess what? At the end of the day, who's feeding who, who's educating who, who's uplifting who will be the deciding factor of who is worthy to liberate our people. And that's just the truth of the matter. With that, thanks again, Brother Ishmael. Thanks again, Brother Sharif. I'm going I'm going to hear my baby cry. That's what I'm going to do. Matter of fact, Brother Sharif, let me share something with the people real quick before I go. I'm gonna share one more thing with the people. I'm gonna share y'all one more thing. And family, I appreciate y'all. This is another reason I do this. You know what I mean? I have 5 sons, 3 grown, 2 still young, but this is the new one. Amir Ali. I said Amir. Aline Boaz. But I was that name Amir. I don't know where I got that from. But anyway, that's right. That's Amir.
He is priceless, and we will conquer this world for him.
Aline. Yeah. So he ready to rock and roll now. He ready to rock and roll now. Aline Boaz Johnson Bey. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Ready to rock and roll. And so
you got your lungs already, brother.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro, did you hear him in the background over there? With that family, peace and love, salute. We're going to check on Garfield and see if he's ready to step up to the plate. If not, I will be reaching out to other brothers who wish to dialogue. Brother Sharif said he's ready. Ishmael said he's ready. I'm ready. But it only will be a respectable dialogue. We're not getting into the N-word, mudslinging foolishness. Bring your information, and that's all you're going to get from us is information. With that, peace and love, family.